Very good afternoon, dear friends, VDMA members, industry colleagues, dear participants. You just watched a video of VDMA members who had contributed to this on the occasion of its 125th anniversary 2 years back. A hearty welcome to all of you for today's interactive webinar on automated logistics solutions to improve productivity, which is the theme topic today. A very interesting topic, and I'm sure all you would be enriched on the entire solutions that our partners are going to talk today evening. We hope all of you and your families and our unworking teams are all safe and doing well. I am Manohar, based out of the Bangalore office of VDMA, would be taking you through the initial part of today's webinar. Dear friends, it's a pleasure to welcome today afternoon our chief guest speaker, Mr. D.K. Gupta, Senior Director of Flipkart. It's a privilege to have him amongst us today. I'm also privileged to welcome our other partners organizations today. Mr. Amol from Sales from Destaco, Mr. Indranil from ePlan, Mr. Indranil from ePlan, Mr. Justin Thomas from Cardex Ramstra, Mr. Sahai from and Mr. Nitin Kumar Sinha from Lloyds India, Mr. Satya Kumar from and Mr. Amit from Nordrive Systems. Also, a very warm welcome to our very own Mr. Rajesh Nath, Managing Director of VDMA India. Dear friends, this webinar is organized by VDMA India along with its VDMA partner companies displayed on the screen on the most important topic on automation solutions for intralogistics to improve productivity. Since logistics and warehousing costs is estimated to account for almost 17% of India's GDP. Before we move forward, very brief about VDMA, our largest industrial association in not only in Germany, but the whole of Europe. We are a 127-year-old institution, a membership of more than 3,300, employing more than 1 million people and producing 204 billion euros of production in Germany alone. And very interesting, more than 80% of the production, that is almost 160 billion euro, is exported out of Germany. Very interesting. And the entire activities of VDMA is categorized into 38 specialized sectors. We have our offices apart from India and the Brussels headquartered in Belgium. We have it in China, Brazil, CIS, Russia, and Japan. These are topics of the discussions today. We have welcome address Mr. Nath and the chief guest address by Mr. D.K. Gupta, Senior Director of Flipkart, on the opportunities of in automation for the warehousing and intralogistics sector, and the presentation by Descato by Mr. Amol Kainer on bagging and gripping palletizing solutions, and then is followed by ePlan, Mr. Indranil Guha, who is going to talk on warehousing automation. Then Mr. Justin Thomas from Cardex Ramstra would be speaking on how automation addresses challenges in intralogistics, followed by Loise Sensors and Solutions for Warehousing Automation by Mr. Sahai and Mr. Sinha. And then we have Automated Logistics Solutions from Nordrive Systems by Mr. Satya Kumar and your call. I request you to post all your questions in the question section in the right hand side, and the questions will be consolidated and will be asked to the panelists in the end by Mr. Rajesh Nath, the Managing Director India. Dear friends, I would like to now invite Mr. Rajesh Nath, our Managing Director, for his welcome address. Mr. Nath has been strongly promoting the Indo-German relations and has been the face of VDMA for close to 2 decades. He has more than 3 decades of working experience in various industries, not only in Germany, but also in India. The most significant achievement of his has been that he has been accorded the Cross of the Order of Merit, the highest civilian order from the German president for promoting Indo-German trade for the last couple of years. Over to you, Mr. Nath.
Yeah, thank you, Manohar. Hearty welcome to all our members and friends from the industry who have joined us today for this exciting web seminar on automated logistics solutions to improve productivity, being organized by the German Engineering Federation, VDMA, in association with our competent member partners today, Destaco, ePlan, Cardex Ramstra, Loise, and Nordrive System. I also extend a very warm welcome to our industry chief guest today, Mr. D.K. Gupta, Senior Director, Fulfillment Center and Operations, Pan India at Flipkart. A pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Gupta, and thank you for joining us today for this web seminar. Hearty welcome also to all our speakers, Amol from Destaco, Indranil from ePlan, Justin from Cardex Remster, Manish and Nitin from Loise, and Satyakumar and Amit from NordDrive System. Friends, I would also like to welcome Mr. Jayaraman, who is the chairman of the Indian Institute of Material Management, Bangalore chapter, and all the members of the Indian Institute of Material Management. Thank you, Mr. Jayaram, for joining us today, along with your members. Friends, the history of logistics is also the history of automation, from the steam engine to the forklifts to today's robotic pickers and packers. So today's interest in new technology has plenty of precedent. The three top trends driving automation to provide optimal logistics solutions are growing shortage of labor, an explosion in demand from online retailers, and intriguing technological advances. McKinsey Global Institute estimates that the transportation and warehousing industry has the third highest automation potential of any sector. Automation can reduce the dependency on an ever-tightening labor market. Further, automation can enable higher throughput in a smaller space. Given the tight market for warehousing real estate, especially near city centers, the business case for automation is improving significantly. Also, as per the IoT Analytics latest update, spending on IoT solutions grew 12% in 2020 to approximately $129 billion globally. The COVID pandemic had vastly different impacts on different segments of the IoT market. For example, spending on IoT hardware grew 5.4% in 2020, while spending on IoT cloud infrastructure services grew 35% in the same time frame. Friends, affordable solutions, innovative business models or processes will give a boost to efficient logistics systems, which will help to enhance productivity and enable looking beyond the conventional way of doing business. We look forward to the inputs from our knowledgeable speakers to this topic of automated logistics solutions. Friends, also the e-commerce is remaking the entire logistic industry. The inexorable rise of online sales is well documented. It is forecasted that India's e-commerce will reach $100 billion by 2024, growing at a CAGR of about 27 to 28%, with grocery and apparel likely to be the key drivers for this incremental growth. Hence, it is apt that we have Mr. D.K. Gupta from Flipkart India as our guest speaker today. Before handing it over to Mr. Gupta, I would like to briefly introduce Mr. Gupta. Mr. Gupta is the Senior Director, Fulfillment Center and Operations, Pan India at Flipkart. He is a graduate in mechanical engineering from Rajasthan University. And in fact, before joining Flipkart as a director, Mr. Gupta worked amongst others with the company Trelleborg. Mr. Gupta, this is very special for us because Trelleborg is incidentally a VDMA member company also. So over to you now, Mr. Gupta, and we look forward to your address. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Nath, and thanks, Manohar, for giving this opportunity. Good afternoon, all the team members, everyone. So, before I will say anything, I just want to go back to the, 90s, right? 1990s. So at that point of time, I used to work for a company called Network. That was HCL Group company. If you guys remember, if you go to anywhere, there used to be a typewriter, right? So next version of typewriter was electronic typewriter. So Network used to make those electronic typewriter. So I used to be in the R&D, And I remember first, a big crack which as a team we have done. If you're typing, there is a one line display is going to come on the screen. And Shiv Nadar was very excited. Oh, we can see the display also what you are typing, right? So that point of time, nobody thought of what technology can do. So we started with one line, 2 line, 5 line, and then lettercom display. There is a one unit. So you type here and you can see what is you have typed. So and if we will see that point of time, nobody thought that such kind of a revolution is going to come in the industry. And still I remember one cartoon. A great cartoonist, Lakshman, everyone aware of, right? The cartoon was, there was a guy, he gone to bank to withdraw some money, right? And the cartoon was कि भाई जल्दी चाहिए तो ये मैनुअल ले ले, कंप्यूटर को सोचने में टाइम लगता है. So that kind of a thought people used to have in their mind about technology, कि चलने वाली नहीं है, right? So that mindset, and today where we are is altogether, different. You can't imagine. Even you guys are, one of the prime people who are changing the world by giving the technology for automation, right? So I'll say, there are a few things generally of why people are not choosing automation in their factory, in their warehouse, or wherever it is, right? So why? Because number one is capex is little bit on higher side, right? And ROI may take few years, right? And everyone want today I will invest and from tomorrow I will start getting the benefit, right? So justification between ROI and all need to be right fixed. Then if I will implement that automation, I need some kind of expertise in-house to manage that automation as well, right? Some kind of a threat, or people start thinking, yeah, I will be dependent on that company. Whatever they will do, if anything will not work, so that is going to be an issue, right? So, and then sometimes people think, if that system will not work, what is going to happen? What is going to be my uptime of the equipment? I have to call that vendor's person, engineer, he lives in maybe, some other city, from where he will come. It will take one day, all those things, right? And no one afford to stop their machine even for a single minute, right? Generally, I used to say all the machines should be like a ATM machine, and you will send one person in that and say jitna paisa nikalna hai nikalte raho, so that person will think that machine should not stop, paise aate hi rahenge. That kind of a thing is, from automation people want. So the uptime, and say is really very, very, very important in automation field, wherever we will do, right? So an automation will work on standard template, right? There is a one guideline can prepare, and that will work within that guardrails only, right? If business fluctuate, business need flexibility and all, so that we have to do a lot of changes in the automations, right? Which everyone is doing. That's why we are reached to some other level. Then spares availability, right? I'm telling this from my experience, right? Availability of spares. That is again a challenge, because these are not the Bajaj Chetak scooter. You can go to any cycle repair shop, they will fix. In old time we have seen the Bajaj Chetak. किसी cycle वाले की दुकान के पास चले जाओ, they will fix. So but now these days, if you are having one spare that you will get from that specific shop or specific company. So that is the problem for basically companies they are having in their mind, right? So they should get the most of the I'll say in warehousing function or companies, people don't have a standard warehousing management system. Lot of companies will make their own WMS system. So integration, so this is a challenge for all the players who are providing the automation and things. The integration between that customers WMS versus your WMS, right? How to integrate that also saw a lot of challenges in right in the market. Then as I said, because that will work on steady state environment. So variability managing, he will say कि यार मेरा energy save हो जाए, I will run this machine for say slow speed. So that is not going to happen. You can run that machine for full speed and maybe you can stop the operation right within 8 hours, 4 hours, like that. That you can do, but you can't reduce that thing. So these are the some challenges, but other side, there are a lot of benefit also, right? As if there is no benefit, so no industry can run. That's why this automation industries are growing like anything. Say number one, they are able to give you a consistent throughput and consistent quality, right? If system is working, so you will get consistent quality, consistent throughput, so that you can rely on it, right? So generally without automation, you will depend upon say person, but with automation, you can depend upon system. So person dependent to system dependent, immediately you will switch, right? And if machine is working, run for 1 hour, you will get this much of throughput. So this is given, nothing going to be changed. But in manual era, there used to be a lot of fluctuation in the we should have seen the spikes. Kisi hour mein zyada ban gaya, then less, and all these things. But here it is all fluctuation is there, but it is very minimum, very minimum. So that is a good thing. Then improve, yes. So as of now, all the industries everywhere, people are focusing on people. If automation is there, so that will improve the employees motivation. यार हाथ से काम करता था, now there is a machine who will helping me. Earlier I was going to pick that item, now item is coming to me, so I have to pick. So these are small things, right? Where people feel happy, right? If people feel happy, so they will think that this organization is the organization, I will say, great place to work, right? And then employees, satisfaction will improve, their attrition will reduce. They can focus on how to do the new things. Otherwise, people will start thinking to, today that person has left, okay, fill that as well. Then he will take his own time to learn, and then he will start giving. So these are, intangible benefit I'm saying, right? So in automation now these days, we will have real-time data available, right? You can sit at the home and you can see what is the throughput going on, right? And if you have not heard anything, that machine is down, you can calculate 6 hours, this much throughput definitely is going to be, right? So that is also, real-time data is available. You will see how many shipment in logistics, where they are today. So you can come to know these many delivery boys has delivered so many shipments, so many shipment has packed, so many shipment has picked from return, and all these things. It is real time now these days, right? Then space utilization in the warehousing. Everywhere now, whole world, there was a time when people used to buy big lands, right? But now these days it's not easy. There is a lot of cost. So in automation, right, like if you can implement mini load, so you can go G+16, G+18, 20, 24, like that, right? As per government approval or state wise or country wise norms, whatever you used to have. So otherwise earlier, we have to go to the floor, right? Maybe in the conventional method, multi-tier shelving, ground plus first floor, second floor, third floor, or maximum fourth floor, right? But in this, you can go to G plus 14, 15, 16 as well. So there is a space utilization. You can reduce the, aisle width also. You can collapse that also. Can go, right? Lot of automation is there in the market, right? One key thing generally in the warehousing, people keep the inventory, and I used to say this is not inventory, this is money, because there is a price tag on that inventory. If that price tag is 1,000 rupees, that means these many 1,000 rupees notes are kept there. So inventory management is key, right? Whether it is a finance point of view and everything. So that also very good in by coming the automation, lot of automation system. So you can see if you have picked, automatically your inventory will be reduced from that particular bin, from that particular area, and that will give the visibility. Isko pick kar diya, and this order was booked for Rajesh Nath, and it is gone, like that also, right? Each and everything is, inventory management is really very good. And as I discussed earlier, right, it will give the pride to that organization, and their employees feel happy. Not only on-roll employees I am talking about, there are full-time contractuals also. They also feel happy because they will learn and they feel happy that they are working in such organization. Earlier days, I remember when I visited first time Trelleborg factory in Breuberg, right? There was almost, I think, 500,000 square foot that plant, and there were 24 people were working in that plant. 24 people, and most of the people were doing, they were putting the say casting and other thing in the bin, or after completing with rubber bond, they have to put in the bin and pick the bin and put it in the store. That's it. Everything is completely automatic. Completely. Rubber is coming from there. This part is coming from there. Bonding is there. Curing is there. Everything. Right? Lot of things. See, there are, Thomas is here sitting. So saw cardiac system in Turkey when I used to work for Flextronics. Right? Beautiful systems. Right? So that period of time in 2007. Okay. This tool required.
I think we have lost Mr. Gupta. I think there's perhaps some, looks like load shedding or so. Okay, with that, I think then I would like to invite our first speaker. Thank Mr. Gupta, and I would like to invite our first speaker for today, Amol, who's the sales manager India at Destaco. And Amol will be talking on modular bag, box, gripping, and palletizing solution. So over to you, Amol, and we look forward to your presentation. I would request all the other speakers to kindly switch off their cameras. Amol, please have your camera on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh Nath and Mr. Manohar, for giving us opportunity in the COVID situation, whether we can interact with so many prospect customers and really discuss about our automation products. So myself, Amol Khaina, I'm handling India sales operations, and for me today's topic is bag gripping solutions and palletizing stacking solutions. That is a part of warehouse automation and logistic. So next slide, please, Mr. Manohar. Before going into product discussion, I'd like to introduce about Destaco a couple of minutes of time. We are a worldwide leader in innovation, designing, and manufacturing for clamping, gripping, indexing, robotic tooling products, and we have a special division for material handling solutions. So today's discussion is morely about handling solutions for mass productions.
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Mr. Gupta, we have continued the session. So my first presentation is going on.
Just 1 second, Mr. Gupta. Yes, you can just say a few words and you can conclude. Yeah, sorry, I think you have lost you because of the load shedding, Manohar here. So what I suggest is you can just a few. I mean, you can tell a few words and we can wrap it. We can conclude your speech and then Amul can continue across. Yeah, you can tell one or two sentences. Yeah,
So, am I
yeah.
audible,
Sorry, I think
right?
I lost you. Yeah.
So I was saying, few automation which we have done in our organization, say like, auto counting, right? Put to light, pick to light, right? Diverters, spirals, conveyors, linear conveyors, profilers, sorters, cross belt sorters, right? Uh, Optical character recognition, right? So these are the things, right, which we have implement even in ASRS, right? Cross belt sorters, AGVs, cobots, right? You guys have seen video analytics, right? Carton erector. So these are the few, things which we have already implemented.
Yes.
So there are a
Yeah.
lot of things which is in the pipeline
Correct.
also, and we are
Yeah.
going ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gupta. It was a pleasure to have you, and a very interesting talk on you and explaining how the automation has evolved over a period of time. Yeah, over to you, Mr. Nath. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Mr. Gupta,
Thank you.
I think thank you for highlighting the advantages and the challenges automation face. And once again, Mr. Gupta, it was a pleasure having you with us today. So thank you very much, Mr. Gupta, and we'll stay connected. Right.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. So I guess I should continue, right, Mr. Manohar?
Yeah, continue. Carry on. Yeah.
As I said, we have multiple product segments which caters clamping, gripping, and other kinds of indexing and robotic applications. And here I'm going to discuss on especially on one product which is as a part of material handling solutions. Distaco has a global footprint. We have multiple manufacturing locations in US, Europe, and Asia. Especially in Asia, we have India, Thailand, and China locations where we manufacture most of our products. Next slide. Okay, this is going to be a topic for me. I'll be discussing next 10 minutes on this. Bag gripper is, it's a kind of end effector solutions that can be used for end of line for any manufacturing setup. But for warehouse automation, this is a starting point where pick and place through conveyor or pick and place through any sort of, medium is being started. That's the first step. The features included in this product are, angle adjustment, angle flexibility. There are simple designs, power clamps, single mechanism of civil action has been used. We have fully control over pneumatic and electrical actuators. Integrated sensors have been used to identify the positional feedbacks, and then we have some optional accessories which can be a part of this solution depending on the application and the criticality of that particular process. Mr. Manohar, I'd like to request you to play the video. This is going to be an application video where we have done such kind of case history in India, and this is specifically for agricultural use. Next slide, please. You can see the features what we have provided attending these particular applications are not only the product features, but we have taken care of the heavy loads, 50 kg load, and particularly for the bag size of 40 kg, we have been achieved cycle time is less than 7 seconds, which was more than 30 seconds when the operations were done manually. So when we involve this automation that includes robot integration and the standard bag gripper with some customization into that, we could able to give customer lots of benefit in terms of mass production, in terms of fully automated line where is no manual intervention. You must have seen there is no manual intervention in the videos, and the company itself could able to save 4 labors for this particular one line. So there are 3 lines as such we have been automated. Next slide, Mr. Manoj. I'd like to discuss on the options available with this kind of bag grippers or box grippers. The standard option of picking the bag is always available, but if you wanted to explore those options to and pick up the pallet or maybe pick up the slip sheets, those can be taken care with additional mechanism you can put and incorporate on the bag grippers. Then again, pneumatic controls and electrical controls can be adopted into that. And wherever it is necessary, if you have customized mounting, particularly for robots, then we are providing a robot mount as a stand-up options, which can be sold, which can be dealt in separately. Next slide, Mr. Manoj. We have, as of now, as a 2 standard product to cater to industry needs. Mostly, we have seen that the bag sizes or the box sizes for mass production, especially, are of 2 categories. One is up to 25 kgs, and the other one is up to 50 kgs. So we have 2 standard models which takes maximum payload of 23 kg, and the other one, which is DBG 100, takes care of 45 kg load. And according to that, the bag dimensions can be arranged. If we if the variance in the bag dimension or weights are higher, then we are customizing our entire solution that can take care of both the bags in a single bag gripper that can be picked and placed. You must have seen the overall load for this bag gripper is moderately low, because the components that we have used is high tensile strength aluminum. So altogether, if we see, if we have to pick a bag of 25 kg, the overall loads becomes less than 40 kg for a robot. So robot with a capacity, payload capacity of 60 kg or 70 kg can do the work. There you can save lots of investment, capital cost in investing in robot. Next slide, Mr. Manoj. The couple of applications where we have already proven this product is, the one is from stacking. Particularly on the left side, you can see a total pickup application wherein we have stacked 4 plates and picked all those. The other application is picking up the carbon box, which you can see there is an array of 3 by 2. So at a time, 6 carbon boxes have been picked and placed from a conveyor and stacked onto the racks. So any customization in number of boxes, picking number of boxes, or delting any kind of variants, load variants, can be taken care. Next slide, please. As of now, we have been dealing with packaging and palletizing application for particularly pharmaceutical, agricultural, what just I have shown you the video. Then cement industry from western part of India has been very predominant in doing automation nowadays. And when we see pharmaceutical also is what we are getting good responses and dealing with that. As far as warehousing solutions are concerned, we have catered to consumer goods and electronics industry, wherein they have been preferring our solutions for warehouse automation and logistic purposes. Next. This is a little bit about what the options which we are providing along with the standard bag grippers. One is slip sheet pickup options. You have seen most of the cases when someone decides to go for a fully automation line, they need pallet pickup also, then a bag or box pickup also, and covering of the slip sheet is also a part of their automation. So it fully involves automated. There is no labor or manpower involved in that. So with pneumatic slip up, we give flexibility of arranging 4 inches or 6 inches of backup pressure from the top. You can see on the left side there are slides have been used that generates that much kind of stroke and put additional pressure on particular bags, so that in operation the bag remains stable. and it does not fall out from the bag gripper, and so that we'll be able to achieve high speed cycles, including that pneumatic slip sheet pickup option. The other option is we have is along with the suspension pickups and vacuums also. So one way positive pressure, the other way is negative pressure as well, can be dealt on the particular bags. Next slide, please. Here you can see the last option is includes the heavier finger mechanism, that is for pallet pickup, and the center one is for standard bags and bag grippers. Here we have the multiple standard products. As I said, there are two TBG 50 and TBG 100. Even the customization can be done as per the requirement. Next slide, please. When we talk about standard product, most of our customers wanted to have a control mechanism as a part of this product offering. So we now are providing the entire control mechanism, that operation of the particular cylinder which is involved over here, and arranging his response time. So pneumatic control option as well as electrical control option is a part of standard offerings now. Next slide, please. We have a dedicated web page on this sort of product segment, wherein we have uploaded all the product data sheets, some of the application videos, which are easily accessible on our corporate product website, which is destaco.com. Next slide, please. Here you can see the standard brochure leaflet as well as standard technical catalog, which has technical details of the dimension, weights, parameters, and the additional customization what we can offer are already loaded on the website. Next slide, please. This is the portal wherein we can interact with the customer, wherein he himself in a position to select appropriate bag gripper, based on inputs, feeding those inputs under particular head. For an example, the payload, if they are aware about the variation in the payload, they can put the tab on payload. Then the external option, as I discussed, pallet pickup, or maybe a pneumatic wall package, electrical wall package, that they can select. And then again, for stability, the other backup options such as pneumatic slides or vacuum cups, those they can select, and they can arrive at multiple choices, and out of that they can select the appropriate one. Next slide, please. This is going to be a very basic information on how to order. The first red model box stands for our standard product series, which is DBG 50 and DBG 100. These are the two products as a falls under standard category. And then the second box is for the optional pickup mechanisms, backup mechanisms, which customer is intending. The third one is the control package, what they are intending. And the fourth one is again the pallet pickup option, wherein they can select the additional accessories or additional mechanism to be incorporated in that particular bag gripper. As I said initially, when we are integrating such kind of bag grippers, with what we have faced challenges, extending the depth of this particular bag gripper. So we come up with the robot standoff solutions in terms of 4 inches, 6 inches are the standard options available. Based on the bolt circle diameter, we can select appropriate, we can suggest appropriate model to the customer, or if they wanted to have customizations in mounting this gripper in particular orientation, that can also be dealt. Next slide, please. For additional, that's it. That's what my technical details. And if at all you fall into this area like India, you can contact me. And for Thailand and Asia purpose, you contact my colleague Mr. Chad and Mr. Leroy. And for technical discussions, you can certainly get in touch with Mr. Nived. Once again, thank you for VDMA team for giving us opportunity. And this is very short time, but it's going to be very interesting, interact with 300 plus attendees. So thank you, Mr. Rajeshna, thank you, Mr. Manohar, and thank you, my panelist members. Thank you.
Thank you, Amol, for this interesting presentation on gripping and palletizing solution. So we will take some questions that have come. We will take it at the end of all the presentations, Amol. Next, I would like to call Mr. Indranil Guha. Mr. Indranil Guha, Business Head, International Professional Service from ePlan, and he will be talking about ePlan and warehouse automation. So over to you, Indranil.
Yeah, thanks, Rajesh. Manohar, I will require the video to be played first, and thereafter, the control for the PPT presentation.
Yeah.
When we wake up in the morning, the world has changed again. And if change is the single constant of today, whether in automation, digital transformation, mechatronics, or electrical engineering, we should take change as what it is. Chance. Our mission? We want to design the future of engineering. Designing the future means being open to everyone and every idea. We connect engineers, systems, data and disciplines worldwide for machine and panel builders. Designing the future means empowering. We empower engineers all over the world to realize their ideas. Our tools and solutions enable you to maximize your efficiency, customized to your needs, from simple to high-end. Designing the future means being future-proof. We lead the market with more than 50,000 customers and with 19 languages. We offer local support in more than 50 countries. This makes us the global partner for you and your future success. Because efficient engineering is when a plan becomes e-plan. Collaboration means being close to our customers, listening to your needs and your challenges, and understanding how we can help you to plan and shape the future. Let's e-plan.
Thanks, Manohar. I believe my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Okay. Today my presentation is, of course, on e-plan in warehouse automation. The agendas, as you can see, are also very little. I will be only talking about e-plan's company introduction, followed by the warehouse automation, our presence in warehouse automations, our solution, followed by our clientele. So we are part of Freedom and Low Group, where we have approximately around manufacturing sites in 80 locations. It's a company worth 2.6 billion euro revenue and 12,500 employees. Specifically about e-plan, it's a company which has presence in more than 50 countries. And when we say 50 countries, it means direct presence, not through resellers or agents. Truly global because the software is present in 19 different languages, more than 55,000 customers we have globally, and 1,73,000 licenses we have installed successfully all across the globe. Now, let's go into e-plan's presence in warehouse automation. So as I move in about our presence in warehouse automation, just this is what we understand when we talk about warehouse automations. So when we talk about warehouse automations, we think it's a process of automating the movement of inventory within the warehouse with minimum human interventions. So this means the different systems or subsystems needs to be automated. So be it a conveyor system, a packaging system, or a sorting system, a pallet shuttle, carton shuttle, even dimensions and weight scanning. So these are all systems and subsystems that contributes to automating a warehouse. Of course, there are then autonomous robots, there are drones for automated storage and retrieval systems. So these are all part and parcel when it comes to warehouse automations, right? But if we look about the ecosystem who are there in a warehouse automation systems, let's start with the operator. Like operator is one who needs to have the automated warehouse for storing and retrieving their products efficiently. Like companies like Coca-Cola, Unilever, Jabang or Amazon, and as Mr. Gupta was saying about Flipkart. So these are the operators who needs those automated warehouse. Then comes the people who does that. For example, the OEMs or the system integrators, like as you can see here, Daifuku or Honeywell. These are just for the references. So what they do, they provide different robots, drones, or special purpose vehicles, or even as I mentioned, systems and subsystems. However, they are also, down the stream, they are also dependent on panel builders. Why? Because every system needs to be controlled. Now, it could be controlled by a power control center, could be a motor control center, a PLC systems, or even microcontroller based panels like APFC. Finally, the other stakeholders in this ecosystem are the component manufacturers. Now they play a major role also in this ecosystem, though silently in this warehouse automation, but they play a major role. For example, Rital, they provide those enclosures on which the panels are built. Or Siemens or Rockwell Automation, they provide those PLCs. Or Festo, for example, they provide the valves or terminals. And then Phoenix Contact, they provide the sensors or actuators and so on and so forth. So if we look about the entire ecosystem of a warehouse, these are the four different key influencers of an ecosystem. Point being, what's our role in this ecosystem then, right? So let's start with an operator. Consider a situation when an operator needs to bring up a new warehouse. So he will create a specification. Now there is a product in ePlan called ePlan Data Portal, where we have more than 400 manufacturer component details readily available, which the operator can use as he is building of his specifications. Then comes the planning, where he does the BOQ, the bill of quantities, or preparation of the plan or cost estimations. So this is where ePlan pre-planning helps the operator during his planning stage when he's planning to bring up the warehouse. Then of course it goes to the system integrators or the OEMs. So now the system integrator or the OEM, they will start the designing. So there we have a product called ePlan P8, where you do the basic engineering, of course followed by the detail engineering, like the schematics, the termination plan, and then bill of material, which needs to be procured, right? And of course then he submits it to the panel builders, because normally the system integrators will work closely with the panel builders who will build the panel for them. So the panel builder will then use a product called Pro Panel, and of course take the details from P8, which is given by the system integrators, where he starts building up the panel. But to do that, the first thing that he can do is he can actually select the right panels by selecting it from our data portal, and then he pick and places the panel. And at the same time, it's not only that he's picking and placing the panel, he will getting the entire bill of material of the panels, which means the panel along with all the accessories. And then he starts putting the components one after another inside the panel based on the schematics which has been submitted by the system integrator, right? Once that is done, he just with a click of a button, he creates the automatic wire routings. So the wire routings are immediately done. Then it comes to sourcing. So sourcing will based on the bill of material, which is automatically created as soon as the panel is built. The sourcing will ask for sourcing will buy the components from the market and then starts the manufacturing of this. Now during the manufacturing, we have a product called ePlan Smart Wiring for the shop floor guys who can use it to visualize the routings real time, and as on the go as he is doing the routing, this product will help him step by step to tell him, okay, which are the wires that he needs to pick and which are the routes through which it needs to go, and he just needs to follow the systems advice, because these data are directly coming real time from the engineering. Let's say once the manufacturing is completed, the panel is ready, it is delivered back to the system integrators, who now along with his systems will go for the commissioning. So when he does the commissioning, he hands over, along with the commissioning, he hands over the entire data, which is a part of the package, which you have to hand over the entire data. So now the operator can, during his maintenance, he can view those drawings real time with ePlan view, which can be also installed on a tab. And of course, ePlan view not only helps you viewing the drawings as you move around in the plants, it has options of QR code scanning, which means there is a QR code on the machine, and you can just scan the QR code and the related drawings automatically pops up. ePlan view also has the possibility of actually integrating the ePlan along with the SCADA systems. So those are the additional functionalities which the operator can get when it comes to maintenance in real time. Now, throughout the process, what you have seen is all the projects from the operator, it goes to the system integrator and then to the panel builder, and it comes back. So it's the same project which is moving around. ePlan, being the pioneer in electrical automation, has already moved into a cloud-based systems, which means the entire project at the beginning can be stored in the cloud, and all the stakeholders can directly access this data and do their part of engineering. Like the operator can do the planning activity there, and the same data can be accessed by the integrators or the panel builders in due course of time with certain rules, which means what are the areas where the operator can access or the system integrator can access, so and so forth. So that's how ePlan contributes in the complete ecosystem. With different product lines, it can contribute, and it benefits all the stakeholders, starting from operator to system integrator to panel builder to component manufacturer. Now let's talk about just a second, I need to. Now let's talk about our product lines, which I have just mentioned, like ePlan data portal. This is one of the key product which we take pride in saying that when it comes to electrical and automation, we say we are the Google of electrical and automation, because there is no other company who has this much amount of data. More than 1 million data is readily available, and it keeps on growing. We have more than 400 customers or partners that their manufacturing data is available with us, and this is used real time with by all the engineers. Then, as I mentioned, we have pre-planning, where you do the planning. Also in pre-planning, if you have PNID drawings, it can also support that, apart from the basic planning stuff. We also have ePlan fluid, which helps you with your hydraulic, pneumatic, lubrication, those kind of drawings. Then we of course have ePlan electric P8, which is our benchmark product, which gives the detailed engineering schematic drawings along with all the relevant reports, whether it's termination plan, connection plan, single line diagrams, so on and so forth. Then, as I mentioned, Pro Panel, where you have a 3D system where you can virtually see the complete engineering on the fly and then make changes. Of course, it has also other functionalities which I don't have enough time to talk about it, but just so you know that on Pro Panel it is also possible to have based on the heat that it generates or dissipates, it can suggest certain cooling systems. Along with our partner Rhythm, it can suggest the exact cooling system that is required for this panel. And then this was the one which I was talking about for the shop floor guys. As you can see that the software, you just pick a wire and it will tell you exactly through which route it has to be routed, and for every wire it will step by step guide the wireman. We also have something called ePlan harness, which for the outside of the panel for harnessing, it can be utilized. ePlan eView, as I mentioned, that we have for viewing of the drawings, which means you cannot make any changes on the drawing, but you can view it real time. And finally, we have something called ePlan Cogeneer for automated engineering, which means it is also possible to completely automate your complete engineering, and drawings can be generated based on those automations, based on the loads, based on the functionalities, based on every customer's requirement. This can be configured. We have integrations with different SAP PDM PLM systems like the SAP. We have integrations with PDM PLM systems like Team Center, Windchill, ProLife, so on and so forth. Okay. Most importantly, what is very important here is whether you are working on a particular product, whether it's P8 or Pro Panel or harness, right? You can work on them as a standalone systems based on your needs, but you can also work with them simultaneously, because all of them are plugged into the same platform, and the datas all seamlessly integrates into the same platform, which means you have bi-directional interfaces between these products, and any changes you make in one platform, uh, seamlessly it gets updated onto the other platforms, which means if you are making a change in the electrical side, the fluidic side also gets updated. If two people of two different divisions are working, like one my mechanical guy is working on the hydraulic side or pneumatic side, and the electrical guy is working on the schematics, and then the data are seamlessly exchanged between the two. So which means it makes that job a lot easier for the engineering guys, which they do not need to wait for one person to complete their job and then the next one takes up. It does not need that. It can work simultaneously. As I've just mentioned to you, that we are actually moving into the complete.
Mr. Indranil, if you can just
Yes.
take another minute to close, a minute or
just the last two slides.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
okay. So we are moving into the cloud with our softwares being into the cloud. As I mentioned, the master data, the data portal is also moving into the cloud, and therefore also the future is the digital platform, which means where the drawings are created, that also are in the cloud. Just this is a small list of our customers, like you can see the Adverb, Falcon, even Godrej, Reflex, Marvo automation, which was earlier ANSYS automations. So these are a partial customer list that we have. Who are successfully using ePlan already. So I am almost on the end of the presentation. We are based out of Bangalore as the head office. Of course, we have offices in all the major metro cities like Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Gujarat. So I would conclude my presentation with just one short speech, because I understand you who are listening to my speech already have certain good tools in use. I believe you have so, but as Benjamin Franklin once said, when better is possible, good is not enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Indranil, and a very nice statement to end it up. I think very interesting also your presentation talking about the warehouse automation solutions. So thank you, Indranil.
My pleasure, sir.
Yes, the questions, there are some questions, Indranil, we'll take it in the end. So before moving on to Justin Thomas from Cardex Remstar, friends, we will quickly like to run a poll question amongst the viewers, and in fact, we have a very good participation, almost touching 350. Manohar, can we have the poll question, please? Yes. Automation solutions in intralogistics will enable organizations to increase productivity, build in agility and speed in movement, error-free transmission of materials or goods, and all of the above. So we'll give some seconds for our participants to give their feedback on this. Yeah, Manohar, can we close the poll question? So friends, as expected, all of the above had the majority 88%. So increasing productivity, building in agility and speed, and error-free transmission. These are, I think, the benefits of automation. So with that, we move on to the next speaker, and we have Mr. Justin Thomas, Marketing Manager, India, Middle East and Africa from Cardex India Storage Solutions. So over to you, Justin, and we look forward to your presentation on how automation addresses challenges in intralogistics and warehousing operations. I think a very relevant presentation. All the best, Justin. You need to unmute yourself, Justin. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, and thank you, Team VDMA, for the opportunity. And also thank you to Guptaji for mentioning Cardex Remstar during his address. As I introduced, I'm Justin Thomas, Marketing Manager for India, Middle East, and Africa for Cardex Remstar. Cardex is a global market leader in providing intralogistic automation, where we have installed more than 3 lakh systems across the world. Cardex is a Swiss-based company. We are a very old company, and we started our operations in 1873. So we are around 150-year-old company. Next slide, please. So we have presence over 30 countries, direct presence, and we have distributors across the world. Our automated storage and retrieval systems are manufactured to the highest quality standards, and we have 3 production sites in Germany and 1 in the USA. So we are present in India since 1996. Also, I would like to mention that we have a very strong sales team which look after the service need of the customers. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are present in almost all the industry segments, such as mechanical, metal, electronics, and pharma, automobile, and so on. So we have helped companies in almost all the industries to resolve their problems in their intralogistics and warehouse. Next slide. So now let's talk about the common challenges in intralogistics and warehouse operations. The space and scalability, slow productivity, accuracy or the correctness, getting the right people, training them and retaining them is definitely a challenge. Also, ever-changing technology. We found that this is a major challenge for our customers as well. Then demand planning and forecasting. And if you fail to do so, it can harm your reputation and reliability. Also, controlled environments such as fire, explosion control, temperature control, humidity control. These are all some of the challenges which we have seen in our customers. So let's talk about how Cardex is able to resolve all these problems one by one. Next slide, please. Even though there are multiple reasons customers look for automation, space saving still is the #1 reason companies choose automation across the world. Floor space cost is increasing drastically. You have a challenge when the time comes for expansion. What if you get more space in the existing one using the vertical height systems or vertical storage systems? Next. So we've seen that most of the customers are taking the advantages of the ceiling height. What they can do is that they can make a system up to the ceiling height, and they can save up to 40 to 85% and even more of the existing floor space with the use of this vertical height systems or vertical storage systems. Next slide. Our ASR systems can go up to 41 meters in height. And if the height is not available inside your warehouse, you can place our systems outside the building, and you can give some sort of openings so that people can take out the goods. And we can have 6 openings in a single system. Another thing is that in the static system, you can see that you have to keep some aisle space for forklift and for walking and taking the goods from the static shelves. So we can save all this unwanted wastage of space with the help of these automated storage systems, which will go vertically. Next slide, please. Next comes the performance thing. So with the help of automation, you can achieve 200 to 600% increase in the productivity and performance. I know that this looks like a huge number, but it's very, very easy. And let's see that how we do it. When we look at the conventional static shelving warehouse, we are looking at person to goods. Next. So when a customer comes and say that I need a particular product, then the person at the warehouse needs to physically go find part, collect it, and come back to the counter and give to the customer. This is called a person to goods concept. But with automated storage and retrieval systems, we do the opposite, which is goods to person. Next. So now we have very little walking time. We can save time on searching the goods that will be done by the system itself. And warehouse operator just have to go and pick the goods from the machine, which is being presented just in front of him. So he can actually save a tremendous amount of time. Next slide. When we put it down into figures, in a person to goods system or a traditional warehouse, 30 to 50% of the time would be spent for traveling for each and every order picking. That's either walking, driving a forklift, or riding a bicycle inside the warehouse, whatever it may be. But in the goods to person system, that's maximum 5% of the time is spent for traveling, as the machine will bring the product just in front of you. You just have to pick the product. And also in the automated system, as seen in the picture, we have a guidance to the LED light, which the picker will exactly know where to pick the product, because now there's a light being thrown on the product to pick. So with congestion to this one, we can reduce the resources or the staff up to 75%. So we can reassign those staff to any other task which is more productive, and not mean that you need to fire those people. The next slide, please. Next comes the accuracy. With the help of automated systems, you can go up to 99% correctness and accuracy. Why didn't I say about 100%? Because if there's a human involved in this process, there's a possibility that he or she can make a mistake. Now, when we look at this accuracy, the cost is a big one. To put this into perspective, about 2 years ago, there was an independent study made up of 250 warehouses across the world, and what they found that it's very interesting that the accuracy level in the best warehouses is around 95%. That means that there's a problem of 5% in those warehouses, and when we translate this into a cost, it's a huge cost. In the automated systems, even, it is difficult for an operator to make a mistake. Why? Because there is a navigation system which will show to the picker where to pick it, and there will be a light, which we call it as a pick to light systems, where the storage system will put a red light on the requested materials. Also, mechanisms like color picking, LED navigator, these all can improve the accuracy, which has been predominantly used in the e-commerce space, which we supply. There's also a huge advantage when it comes to the training. You can even appoint a fresh recruited employee to your warehouse, as he has to just go and pick the goods, which has been guided by the system itself. You don't have to use his intellect to understand which to pick it up. Next slide, please. Now comes the ergonomics. In the traditional warehouse, the picker has to climb on a ladder, bend, or reach for the goods. There are issues like LIFO stock rotation, poor visibility, inaccessible wasted space, and safety, etc. Next slide, please. But in the automated storage systems, which operates in the goods to person principle, the system will present the goods at the ergonomic height, which reduces any sort of worker injury. In the vertical storage systems, which we call it as a shuttle XP, we can adjust the goods height, which has been presented in front of a user. For example, if a warehouse has got 5 different operators of 5 different heights, then we can have 5 heights which has been presented in front of each individual operators, and system will automatically understand who came for picking the goods, and the goods will be presented in front of him with that particular height. On this other side of it, It's not about back pain or injury, it's the performance issue. When we deliver something ergonomically, the operator can work faster and longer. Also, it has an effect on the performance and the cost issue, because once someone can work relaxed, he can work much efficiently. Next slide. Now comes is the technology integration. This is also a problem, but automated storage and retrieval systems can be integrated to any WMS, WES, and ERPs. Also, we provide software which itself can be used as a complete inventory management system or can be integrated to any existing inventory management systems. Sometimes the software part which customers don't care about much. But to be very honest with you, this is one of the crucial part and which is super important. Why? Because we can have a complete inventory management system where we can see the entire analytics which is happening inside the warehouse and control the system real time. That's a huge advantage. Who picked what, when, and all this information and what stock is there in the storage systems, everything, each and every bit of information you can see. Also, we can even manage those analytics from your mobile itself. This helps management in the decision making as the future demand planning based on the data received from the analytics, machine learning, everything we can use it for forecasting. And also in the Cardex, we really understand the importance of the robust softwares along with the ASR systems, and we've got highly skilled 400+ member team working just on the softwares. Another thing is the security and accountability. The warehouse manager can decide who can have the access to a particular item or items. So the operator will have access to all the products except one which your manager decided that who doesn't have to have an access to that particular products. So our IoT-based ASR systems make your warehouse a very intelligent place to store and retrieve your goods. Next. Next comes the controlled environment. You know that when the parts or materials and the products often require specific storage conditions. Our automated storage systems has features such as temperature control, dry atmosphere, humidity control, clean room applications, fire protection, and explosion protection. These all features makes our automated system, storage systems, as a perfect solution for your warehouse. Next one. Next slide. So to conclude, I will show a small animation of a typical warehouse automation project. Video, please. Yeah, video.
Yes, Justin, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much
Yeah, all
for
right.
this
Okay. Appreciate it.
logistic, yes, solutions. And I think it was very interesting to learn from you also, Justin, about the resource reduction and performance increase. And it was amazing. You mentioned almost 85% of saving on the floor space. So I think that was really amazing. We do have some questions also for you, Justin, which we will take at the end. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Friends, now I would like to invite Mr. Manish Kant Sahai, MD of Loiza India, and Mr. Nitin Sinha, National Sales Manager, Loiza India, for their presentation on Loiza sensors and solutions for the warehouse automation. So over to you, Manish and Nitin. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rajesh. And I welcome all my distinguished guests and all the participants. A special welcome to Mr. D.K. Gupta from Flipkart. Once I'll go home back, if I tell this to my family, my wife, she will recognize only one company out of it. That would be Flipkart. Maybe other companies she will not know. We call ourselves as Forerunner. We have invented so many sensors in the past. We are a 1952 old company, established in 1952, sorry. We are more than 60 years old company. Can you go to next slide, Mr. Manohar? Yes. So it's still a family-owned company. We are established in Owen. This is in south of Germany. And we have around 22 subsidiaries around the world. We have around 5 different production locations in Germany, in China, in Malaysia, Australia, and USA. We have 3 technological competence centers as well. We have more than 40 distributors around the world, wherever we have not our own subsidiary. We have more than 1,300 employees worldwide. We are present almost in every corner of the company. In India, we are established in 2012. A little bit late we came to India. Now almost we are completing 10 years in India. Next slide, please. When we talk about the complete product range, we have around 5 different divisions. We start with switching sensors. So you know that optical sensors are the eyes of automation. So these are the sensors which are on the field. And then you have the control equipment like PLCs and HMIs and all. So we call our sensors as the eyes of all the automation. So we have switching sensors, or you call it as a binary sensors. A lot of different varieties are there, like optical sensors, inductive, capacitive and all. Then second one is the measuring sensors, where we do all kind of measurements. Third one comes as identification and data transmission. So in this we have like handheld barcode scanners. We have now 1D and 2D systems. We have RFID systems. We also have vision system in this. Next slide, please. Then we are very, very strong also in safety. So we have safety laser scanner. There are only few companies who are making a safety laser scanners. We are one of them, and we are pioneer in this. We have also won a Guild Award for this kind of laser scanner. Then we have safety light curtains, we have single beam light curtains, we have locking devices and all. We also have safety PLCs and safety relay. And then we are into other division, which is called accessories and supplementary products. It's like we have connectors, cables, we have IO links, we have signaling, tower lamp, we have barcode tapes and all other accessories. Also, one more interesting thing which we have started the last few years is machine safety services. Here we do the audit of your machines and we certified. So we have 2 of the TUV certified engineers with us in India now, and we do the safety of your machines and we do the consultancy. So this is something which is very new. We started in India as well. Next slide, please. As you know, the sensors are going into most of the industries, but every company has their strength and weaknesses. So our strength is, these are the 5 industries where we are very, very strong, and also our focus industry. So intralogistics, you can see, is on top of it. We have more than 55% market share in intralogistics. So if you talk about Dematic or Swisslog or Corber, Bastion, all these big companies, TGW, they are all our customers, and we have a lot of patents for this kind of industry. So when we talk about ASRS system or shuttle or EMS, or we talk about AGV or RGV, we are very, very strong on this kind of applications. Also on continuous conveyor, you can find a lot of applications in YouTube. So this is available. So once you go to YouTube, you can maneuver there and you can find. Apart from that, we are strong into machine tools, lab automation, packaging industry, and automotive industry. So lab automation is something very unique and new industry which is developing, and you have a lot of automations with barcode and all worldwide. We have more than 70% market share in this. Next slide, please. So now I hand it over. We have only 2 slides, this and one more. I hand it over to Nitin now. He will talk about application. So we have one video here. Can you run a video, Mr. Manohar?
Logistics have many components. So like start from ASRS and shuttle, and also today we have picked up continuous conveyor as a topic for today's discussion. So whenever we say continuous conveyor, it means we have to either handle pallet or tote or the boxes. So this video is all about how we are handling pallet as well as tote or the boxes. The first one, the automation start as soon as this pallet load on the conveyor. So here the applications are to identify the pallet, to detect the pallet, to check whether everything is right or wrong. So Mr. Manohar, can you stop this video just for a second here? Hello. So this here what we are doing is we are measuring the volume of this pallet, so that if there is any overheight or if there is any bulk, then we can correct there itself. And then this application is for the muting, so it will allow only the material to pass and it will stop everything. And this is one of our patent technology what we have launched last like 2018. This is called SPG, Smart Process Gating. So here we don't require any additional sensor for the muting. The system is smart enough to identify if it is a pallet or if it is any human being. So the second is to handle containers, so or tote, what we say. So it is little bit easy to detect. So here we are using lots of standard retroreflective sensors and other sensors, and these sensors have so many, it's easy to install, it has a bright light, and it has an active ambient light suppression, so it doesn't have any effect with the ambient light which is now different LEDs are present in the warehouse, so this sensor will not have any effect on those external light. Then once we detect, then the second is to identify the tote. So here what we are using lots of barcode scanner we have with all the interfaces, whether you go with the Siemens system or Rockwell system, we have all the interfaces on board. And then third application is to check whether the pallet or the boxes are overfilled, underfilled, no fill. So then we have a lineage sensor, and then we are detecting these material based on their height. And this is just one device we are using here. And then to save your cost, we also have a special function which we call as a reflector detection. So here you don't require additional photoelectric sensor to detect the material. So this is just inbuilt function of our barcode scanner. This is a typical one, because when we talk about the boxes, then here the box can be of any height, any shape, and then the application also required a barcode reading from quite a long depth of field. So here we have a special BCL 600 barcode scanner which has a quite long depth of field, so it can scan any boxes of any dimension. And then third application is also for the volume measurement and SKU control, because before the material goes to the sorter machine, so we require volume of the material. So then next slide, can you go to the next slide, Mr. Manohar? And this is our as the own distributor center. This started last year. Now it is completely functional, and this is in Germany. So this video will show you how much automation level we are using directly at our own warehouse center. It has complete shutter, it has shuttle service, it has all the other components. So if you can just run this video, Mr. Manohar. So this is all about as a sensor as well as solution, whatever we have. So
yeah, I think thank you Nitin and Manish for this presentation, and also Manish, I quite like your statement, forerunner with the sensor technology. So I think that is very apt what you mentioned, and we'll come to the questions later on. So thank you Nitin and Manish. So friends, now we move on to the last presentation from Nord Drive Systems. And here we have Amit and Mr. Satya Kumar, and they will be talking on efficient, reliable, and proven automated intralogistics solutions. So over to you, Mr. Satya Kumar and Amit.
Yeah, good evening to all, and thank you VDMA for giving us this opportunity to present efficient and reliable proven automated intralogistics solutions from Nord Drive Systems. So looking at the time schedule, I will immediately ask Satya Kumar to shift over and start the presentation from Nord side. So over to you, Satya.
Yes, thank you, and good afternoon to all of you. And let us, I will start with just a short introduction with our headquarters and technology center in Bachteheide near Hamburg. Innovative drive solutions for more than 100 branches of industry.
Amit, Satya has a problem with his connection. If you can continue.
Yeah, I think so. So this picture, what you can see is our headquarters from North Germany near Hamburg. It's a family-owned company with about more than 4,100 employees worldwide and a turnover of about 780 million euro. Next slide, please. So this is our global footprints. We believe to be closer to our customers. So all the orange dots you can see are all our Nord subsidiaries. So we have around 38 subsidiaries worldwide. And for more than 60 countries, we are present with our channel partner network worldwide. Next slide. This is about Nord India from where I'm speaking. So in India, we are about 114 employees with a turnover of 190 crores in 2019 and with a shop floor production area of 5,300 square meters. So it's basically an assembly plant. Next slide. This is a plant extension just behind our plant, which was inaugurated in November 2019, and where we are planning for a large sizes gearbox assembly for the Indian market. Next slide. Coming to the product, we offer complete drive solutions from a single source for intralogistics and automation industry. So on left hand side, you can see all the gearboxes range. In middle, there are drive electronics. Then we have motors and gear units and all the combinations possible also, like, which includes gearboxes, motors, and frequency inverters on top of it. Next slide, please. So this is coming to the particularly on drive electronics. So we have our control cabinet frequency inverters on the left hand side, Nordec Pro, up to 160 kilowatt, and on the right hand side you can see the products which are more popular in intralogistics industry, which includes our starters, then Nordec Link field distribution systems. Nordec Base and Nordec Flex are our decentralized drive units, and this range is available up to 22 kilowatt. Next slide, please. So, Satyakumar, can you take over from here?
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you. Sorry, there is some disturbance. Even I have connected with the LAN and the two mobile phones, but still it's a network. So I hope I'm audible. So coming back to this presentation, this is the product innovation. When we say Industry 4.0, our products are ready with the Industry 4.0. The term Industry 4.0 includes the intelligent interlinking of digital and physical world, that is with humans, machines, and smart objects. This global networking and interaction is also known as the industrial internet of the things. There is IoT. The aim of Industry 4.0 is flexible, modular, and self-organizing production, which coordinate its processes decentrally and autonomously. So, smart networking and collection of relevant drive data enables predictive maintenance, recording of power consumptions, optimized plant dimensioning, status monitoring from normal workstations, and these are the benefits out of this. So for this, Node tests and implements the possibility of cloud linkage in its in our own application test area and demonstrate these to our customers. For this, we have installed our own pilot plant in Bakhtiarda, Germany. On the next slide, we'll see a short video on the same pilot plant. Mr. Manon, next slide, please. That's a video.
Intelligent drive units now play an important role in highly networked systems. Node Drive Systems tests and implements the possibilities of cloud linkage in its own application test area and demonstrates these to its customers. Node has the drive unit of the future for intelligent processes, networked, autonomous, scalable. The drive impresses with its decentralized intelligence. The internal PLC reduces the load on the central control unit and carries out local control tasks autonomously. The decentralized drive unit communicates its status data, such as the actual motor current, motor voltage, motor frequency, and status word to the cloud. Extensive exchange of information is central at all levels. Data can be processed via external digital sensors, such as light barriers, speed, vibration, or temperature sensors. Because the internal PLC enables pre-processing of status data, status monitoring can also be carried out with virtual sensors. Node drive units communicate with all common bus systems. The drive unit of the future is equipped with digital and analog inputs. It can pre-process data with its internal PLC and can be connected via all common communication interfaces. Plant operators benefit from simple integration of the cloud solution into all systems and control units. Decentralized intelligence on site increases plant availability and enables predictive maintenance. With Node, you're Industry 4.0 ready and therefore future-proof. In the application test area, a conveyor system powered by Node drive units is connected to the cloud. Node is flexible and provides various methods of transferring data to the cloud. The data are collected via the bus and sent to the cloud by the central control unit via the gateway. The intelligent drive unit only sends measurements which have changed in comparison to the previous values. This reduces the volume of data and the load on the bus. Communication runs in parallel with the system control on the same bus infrastructure via a separate channel. The path to the cloud can also be decoupled from the central system control. This increases data security for the operator as only the drive unit data are read. The load on the central control unit is also reduced. Status monitoring can be carried out from the normal workstation. In a clear visualization of the drive statuses, deviations from the normal operation can be rapidly detected and maintenance intervals can be planned according to the utilization of the drive units. This enables predictive maintenance and therefore an increase in system availability. Servicing can be optimally coordinated. Future-oriented optimization can also be carried out thanks to status monitoring. Smart networking of drive units enables the collection of relevant data for targeted evaluation. This enables optimization of energy consumption and also provides the possibility of predictive maintenance. Also, load profiles can be generated from which optimized system dimensions can be derived. The drive unit of the future is a prerequisite for digitalization of production. Nord provides advice to its customers on their road to Industry 4.0 in order to face the future in a secure and innovative manner.
Next slide. Yes, so this is again the product innovations. Like we keep on developing new. I think previous slide. Yeah. Thank you. One of the products we call it.
Yeah, Amit, if you can please.
Yes, so hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're
Keep
audible.
innovating the product. So this is one of the example where we have a Bluetooth stick which can be programmed using Nordcon software, and this can be put on our different VFDs, and it can communicate through various applications for proper use. Next slide, please. So this is a part of our new developments, the Nordec on decentralized inverters, where these can also get control with IE3, IE4, IE5 motors. This is launched very recently. Next slide, please. So as we mentioned about our products, we are present in more than 100 industries worldwide. Which includes the bottling conveyors and automation for it, parcel distribution systems in various warehouses, as well as airports, then agitators and mixers in toothpaste making plants, airport baggage handling. Next slide. Then coming to some tough application like steel industry and cement and crushing industry, where ambients are extreme and the duties are very severe. And of course, the warehouse automation, where we provide complete solutions for XYZ axis movement. Next, please. So this is one of the example which we have shown and how we select and how we can optimize and reduce the number of drive systems for an automated warehouse. Can you go to next slide? So these are some of the examples how it is used, and on the right hand side you can see the geared motor including decentralized drives. So this basically sometimes customized solutions also for Intralogistics solutions. Then this includes simple commissioning, and it can communicate with all the bus systems. Plug and play kind of systems we provide, almost zero maintenance or very easy to maintain. The noise levels are low, and we provide one of the lowest cost of ownerships along with energy savings to our customers. Next slide, please. So here is a small example. Quickly, I'll go through it, where normally the customers give their requirements of 4 different ratios to be run at 50 Hertz. But we give a solution with a new ratio, a single ratio with our decentralized drive solutions, where the frequency operation will be from 45 to 70 Hertz, covering all these 4 ratios. And on the next slide, we can see the reduction. So with this, we can get a reduction of number of variants and number of geared motors which are installed, and this can lead to the power saving. So this is a small example we have given. The different powers were given by the customers. Can you go to next slide, Mr. Manohar? And this is what is in step 2, our solution with decentralized inverter operation, where number of variants are only 2, but entire requirement of the customer is getting supported with this, and the variants are reduced with 87 Hertz principle with overload capacities as per the customer requirements. So this is what an optimized solution we can provide for interlogistics industries as well. Next slide, please. Yeah. So thank you all for your patient listening, and sorry for some network issues in between. And thank you, VDMA, Mr. Manohar and Mr. Nath, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Amit and Satyakumar. I think it was a very nice presentation. And in fact, friends, I think we had an extremely interesting session with 5 presentations. And the beauty is we are still on time. And to keep up that, Manohar, before we go to the question answers, can we quickly have the second poll? You want to run the poll? So friends, we'll quickly run the poll. That is, deployment of automation solutions in intralogistics in business organizations will depend on scalability of your business, return on investment of the solution, integrates supply chain ecosystem, and the last option, all of the above. After the poll, I would also request all our speakers to kindly switch on their cameras, and then I will address the questions to our speakers. So just a few seconds more. Yes, Manohar, can we close the poll, please? Yes, so friends, as expected, all of the above. So scalability of business, return on investment, integrates supply chain ecosystem. So this will be the benefits from the deploying automation solutions. Thank you. Thank you, Manohar. In fact, friends, it's been an amazing session, and just for the benefit of our speakers as well as the audience, I was just looking at the industries from where our participants have come. I have at least noted down 15 or 16, maybe a few: logistics, automotive, electrical, electronic, lifestyle, material handling, life sciences, plastic, capital goods, automation, and engineering services. So we've had a very relevant participation for this webinar. So since we are running short of time and we would not like, we'll be almost completing 2 hours of this webinar, I'll just address one question to each of the speakers, and the other questions we will send you by email. So as per our sequence, coming first to Distaco, the question is what is the maximum load handling capacity, and can you also, of your grippers, and can you also mention about the power consumption per kilogram per meter of movement? Amol, would you like to?
Yeah. As of now, what we have dealt is 75 kg sugar bags for food industry. So that was the customization which we did, other than 50 kg standard products. But there is no limit, because we have some power clamps which can take care of additional loads. But to fit the entire bag gripper unit under 200 kg load capacity for a particular robot, we did that exercise. And the second question is in relation with the power consumption. So as far as my product is concerned, bag gripper especially, those are driven pneumatically. So in terms of payload capacities and all, I guess the robotic consumption is also part of that power consumption. So majorly the consumption has been taken by robots. So very minor consumption to drive the sensors and all, and whatever rest is required is the compressor capacity, which is compressor is available at in particular every industries. So we can calculate that, but as of now we have not done such kind of exercise.
Okay, thank you, Amol. Coming now to Indranil from ePlan. Is your cloud-based system on annual subscription basis, Indranil?
Yeah, the cloud-based systems are right now. The good news is it is free for the users to test, which is eBuild and eView. These are free, but as it progresses, of course, in future it would be subscription based. But good news is right now it's free. So if people want to use it, they can actually use it. It's up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Indranil. Now coming to Justin Cardex, for dismantling and repair, how much space as percentage of footprint area is required, Justin?
So as I said that this is a very modular in nature. So in that case, in order to do that as well, not much space is required, because see, our all systems, it comes piece by piece, so it's very easy. So along with that, even for the expansion, as it is modular in nature, once you have done it, then you can expand also in the future. So yeah, it's very easy to do it.
Thank you, Justin. Coming to Manisha Nitin from Loise, what specific sensor are available for overload pallets, totos, or cartons, and how does it work?
There are lots of different sensors, because when we talk about pallet, so then we need a sensor who can detect this pallet continuously. So like in the first video, what we have shown is like a grid type sensor, and it can detect any pallet of any shape on the conveyor. The same sensor, if you go to any like a Flipkart or Amazon, you will see they have a different types of material. Someone is ordering a book, someone is ordering maybe cloth. So all the packets have different packing material and different shape. And for that, we have a certain specific sensor which can detect anything on the conveyor without any false triggering. But when it comes to the box, when it comes to the tote, so there we sometimes we have to detect tote continuously, and there we saw that it's very easy. But whenever you have to detect a tote in the turning station where you can't use a different like a reflector on the other side, so for those locations we have again a very robust background separation sensor. So it's like it's not just one solution, but we have a variety of solution available for different material, different locations.
Right. Thank you, Nitin. Manish, would you like to add or something to that?
No, it's fine. If there is any question, I can answer.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Coming then to Nord Drive system, Satyakumar and Amit. Now the question is, are decentralized controls only for electric motors? Can similar sensor-based decentralized autonomous drives be extended to IC engines also? Amit, could you get the question?
Sorry, I couldn't hear it. Can you repeat?
Yeah. So Amit, they're asking, are decentralized controls only for electric motors? And can similar sensor-based decentralized autonomous drives be extended to IC engines also?
Yeah, prima facie, these are for electric motors, but based on the application requirement, it can be utilized for certain conditions only for IC engines, not in general.
Right. So, friends, we would have loved to carry on with the further questions, but I think we would have to stop now. So, I think we would like to thank Mr. D.K. Gupta. There were some questions for Mr. Gupta, but I think Mr. Gupta is not there presently. So, thank you, Mr. Gupta, for your address. And all our, I would also like to thank our eminent speakers today, Amol from Destaco, Indranil ePlan, Justin Cardex, Manish and Nitin from Loise, Satyakumar and Amit from Nord Drive System. I think excellent presentations, and thank you to all our participants. In fact, we had, as I mentioned earlier, almost more than around 350, and in fact, we still have around almost 300 people who have stayed back right till the end. So thank you very much, all the participants from such a broad range of industries who have joined. So thank you for actively participating in this web seminar today. And since we are talking about logistics, and to end on logistics, I would like to conclude with a quote from Tom Peters, on a lighter note. He said, "Leaders win through logistics. Vision sure, strategy yes. But when you go to war, you need to have both toilet paper and bullets at the right place and right time. In other words, you must win through superior logistics." So thank you, friends. Wishing everyone a safe, stay safe, you and your families and all your loved ones. Please stay safe, stay well, and have a nice weekend. Thank you very much and all the very best. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Nath. Thank you, Mr. Manohar. Thank you, all panelists.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Rajesh, and thank you, Manohar, and all the participants as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.